Hello and welcome everybody for today's live stream. Sorry for the 3 minutes delay. I had some technical issues here with my OBS streaming platform. And now I'm sitting here in the right corner. I moved myself a little bit up. And in today's video, today's live stream, I want to talk about something which is on the lower time frame for trading. And one of the most important things, what I think, is trade with the perfect timing. So always when we have, everybody wants to have the perfect timing. And in today's live stream, I show you how I think we can find the perfect timing for an entry or an exit. And this is also possible for every time frame. So in today's live stream, we go down to the 10 seconds time frame, because this is one of the time frames I trade for my intraday day trading scalping method. Okay, so we start always on the higher time frame, and I explain you because it's always the same. It's always the same, more or less, rules, or I would say procedure. And we just need to define, let's say, 2-3 things. The most important thing is, of course, you need to know if the market is in a trend phase or if it's in a range. Because this is, I would say, the most important thing. Also to put the things what we analyze and put the things what we see in the right context. Not assuming, I mean, we see market is in an uptrend here in the Nasdaq. I will use the Nasdaq today as my reference market because I love the Nasdaq, and but you can use any kind of other markets, and we can also analyze some other markets. We had platinum last week, and I think the trade went very well in platinum, which we discussed here in this live stream. I hope some of you made some profits in platinum. So let's talk about the Nasdaq. The first thing you need to know, of course, is it a trend or is it a range? We see the ranges also with Wabi-Sabi or Wyckoff Flow Indicator. This is the range, this is the range. And always when we are outside of this, we're gonna most likely are in a trend phase to the next target areas. Here we have the target areas. This is one way how you can define a trend. You can also define the trend with other indicators like MACD or ADX, or you can do your volume analysis and analyze, for example, if we are in around the POC, in the value area or not in the value area. Do we have moving POCs to the upside? There are so many ways how you can analyze this, and this is not the topic about today's stream. The topic is how you can find the perfect entry. And from my point of view, one main key to find this is the color of volume ventures, or the color, of course, of, or what is the name? Volatility edge zone premium. Because, you know, it's the same, it's just a different type of, I would say, visibility. We have the same colors here down at volume ventures and the same colors at the top with volatility zone edge. We see the same colorful candles in the candles or in the bars here on the lower end. Always when we see colorful candles, we need to ask ourselves this question: is this a continuation sign or is it a reversal sign? When the color comes, we need to ask the question, okay, is this a sign for an entry? Is this a continuation? Or is it a sign for, okay, I better wait for the time until the color goes, and then I find my entries on the lower time frame. Okay, this is really important because always colorful candles show us local highs and lows, swing highs, swing lows on each time frame. Starting here on the 4-hour chart, well, my analysis since the weekend is that the market will continue in long direction. On Monday, we had a strong opening. Yesterday and also today, we chopped around a little bit, went to the downside, built some today in the morning weak lows, and now the market is continuing to the upside, and it's following the overall direction. Because the overall direction is very bullish because of all these bulls here on the 4-hour time frame. And now we go down to the lower time frames to find the perfect entry, because perfect entries could be here, could be there, right? And you can find these entries with colorful candles. By the way, this is one of the things Ethereum team is working on. They are working on a scanner, or like kind of a own trading platform where we can define alerts for individual markets, for a whole bunch of markets, where we can run a scanner and find the colorful candles for each market, and we can get a notification, for example, when the Nasdaq is printing a colorful candle on the 1-hour chart or the 50-minute chart, or when the color goes or whatever. We can define rules for these alerts, and with these alerts you will get notified, and you don't have to sit in front of the screen all day to wait for the right timing. This is something which will be exclusively, I hope it will be available this year for lifetime members. For all lifetime members, you will get notified. I showed here in the live stream when this feature is ready. You will be the first one who, where I will present this feature. So, talking about the perfect timing for the trade entry. So we have colorful candles coming and going, coming and going. Always local highs and local lows. Is it right? Local? It's like short-term highs and lows, swing highs, swing lows on the lower time frame. And always when we see this kind of things, here's also a low, right? At today's opening pre-market session. So very easy, right? Now we are in the 1-hour time frame. Always when we see colorful candles coming or going, you need to answer yourself this question: continuation or reversal? Continuation or reversal? And by this you find the perfect entries. You know what you do. You know what you have to do. You can enter, for example, in the lower time frame, when you are trading on the intraday chart and you're trading this movement in short direction. Here on Thursday, the 25th, we see on the 1-hour chart a blue candle, and we see this colorful candles coming even earlier on the 50-minute chart. So if you see these candles coming, you can of course enter in short direction on the lower time frame, in intraday time frame. You can just enter and stay in until the color goes on the lower time frames. Intraday trading. If you are right there, you can do it. If you do swing trading, you can use this for your advantage, for your, I would say, on swing trading basis, I would use more the criteria, okay, when the color goes, what do I need to do? Okay, here, there. So today in the morning, from my point of view, was one of a very good entry to enter in long direction. Here, 3 a.m. in the morning today, in New York time, there was a good long entry opportunity after this colorful candle. It's a gray candle. That's why we don't see it behind this gray background of this inside bar. But you know what I mean, right? It's like this. This is a good entry opportunity for a long trade. Market went. When the color goes here, for example, this was, I think it was Monday, the color goes, it's a good time. Well, okay, we knew we had activity again. We need to wait for colorful candles at the lower end to enter in long direction. This bias will come back. This bias will come back, and we will see new continuation highs from my point of view. Let's go even lower, because we want to go to the 10-second chart, right? 10 seconds. Always keep in mind that mostly, wait a second. I just need to check, where do I find these documents? It's always the same. Well, you know what the documents about absorption and lack of participation. So, of course, this is the most important things, that you keep this in mind, print these pages and put them on your table, because this is how the market is moving: lack of participation and absorption, right? Of course, this is what we need to know. And we can ask the same question for us over and over again. Now we have colorful candles again on the 15-minute chart. And from my point of view, these colorful candles on the 15-minute chart, they need and they will push above Monday's highs. Continue when the color goes. This impulse is done, and we will see a reversal again, and it goes like this over and over and over again. You see the same on the lower time frames. Let me put OptiStruct out. Don't need OptiStruct. And also, when you want to use the auto mode, the automatic scale mode, and you also want to have it for volume ventures, disable the lines. If you disable the lines here, then the automatic mode works much better, because the lines will always push it, especially when you work on lower time frames, to very, very small levels. So on the 5-minute chart, you have the same information. Colorful candles, but of course always lower on the lower time frames. Always we see the colorful candles. You need to ask yourself, continuation or reversal. And if the market does not continue, well, you know that it's a reversal sign. Here, they could not push, so it's a reversal sign. And also in the bigger time frame context, the context analysis. Context analysis is the strongest point, of course. You can do this to every time frame, to all the lower time frames, and 3 minutes, 1 minute, and it also works on the 10-second chart. I just want to show you examples. You need to do the same thing for yourself, because if you are really intraday scalping mode, I do intraday trading scalping 4 times a week, nearly every day. I did it today, finished in 10 minutes, was okay, was nice. And it's good. And always, of course, the lower the time frames, the more important is the market in a continuation or in a reversal. You see colorful candles here, you see colorful candles there, colorful candles here, there. It's always the same, right? Here. And if you are a short-term scalper, for example, very, very short, and you know here we have colorful candles on the lower end, you see this colorful candles going, you can use this. How many points is it? It's like you enter at, okay, you get it at 899 and 813. Okay, it's just 13 points, but you can trade this 10, maybe you get 10 points out of it. You can get this 10 points with a very, very high probability. And even more, for example, you did the same thing here. Okay, you enter whatever here, they don't continue and you get stopped. You know it's a continuation. You switch around your position and you enter in a short direction and you can make a profitable trade with it. I mean, first one is a losing trade, second one is a winning trade. You can also trade against the trends, like this one again, colorful candles are going. You can trade like very, very short-term scalping method. This is a 10-second chart. So you see NASDAQ. Of course, we need to have the overall picture always visible in our head. Wyckoff Flow Structure, Wabi-Sabi indicator is indicating here target prices of 24,959 or 25,000 at the upside. We will see if the market can make it to this level, but still until now it is pretty choppy. So also now we see the colorful candles are going. We can use the same methodology. Most important thing is don't look at one time frame. Okay, now I have here the 10-second time frame only. I always look at 2-3 time frames. So we can trade in long direction now, right? Like this. Colorful candles are off. We can trade in long direction. Put the stock to break even somewhere now. Okay. And well, we will see how it will develop. It's not a very good entry opportunity because you find this, it will be, the reversal sign is very strong if you see something like this. Okay, if you see something like this, colorful candles, and then the zone from bullish to bearish is changing immediately, like right after the colorful candles, then it's a stronger sign for a reversal. See this? It's immediately changing bullish color, blue, to bearish color. So if we see this, then it's a stronger sign. So we don't have this scenario here. So you should go out now. You have a break-even trade. Okay, sellers are coming again, and they might push again for new lows. Because it's changing here. You can look at more time frames. Of course, something like this. Wait, what do I have here? 50-minute. Usually I have the 10 seconds on the right. I have 1 minute on the left. And we do the same. OptiStruct out. We put just volume ventures without the lines, because then we know it is with auto scale, everything is properly scaled. There we are, 10 seconds on the right, 1 minute on the left. Do you see these kind of things? Yes, you see everything, okay. And where's volatility zone edge? I cannot display this because it's not activated for seconds. Activated for seconds here. And yeah, there we go. Okay. So very, very short-term trading methodology today. Very, very short-term. And now I want to know from you, which time frame do you trade? Okay, please write it in the chat window. What is your preferred time frame? 1 hour, 50 minutes, 4 hours. I only trade on the daily time frame. You trade on the 1 minute, 10 seconds, or maybe you don't trade on the time frame. Maybe you trade on the volume charts, which is also very, very nice. I love volume charts. It's not possible in TradingView, but yeah, what is your preferred time frame? Please write it in the chat window, because then I know a little bit more about your trading style. And of course, I will also like to answer your questions and make an analysis of your preferred market. Five minutes. By the way, if anybody is watching here the stream and does not have Alba Ethereum lifetime, we just had an offer about a discount code. The discount is just out. Okay, we had the discount until yesterday night, but if one of you, okay, here and now still hasn't got the lifetime access, okay, please write an email, and you want to buy a lifetime, you can write an email to me and I make it possible. I put you, this is my email address. My email address, you can find it in the chat window, philip.coatsala@albaethereum.com. And with this, I think on the website, the discount codes here, especially for the lifetime, full access to Wabi Sabi with Wabi Sabi lifetime 25 closing 7 days, because this flash sale was out until 30th of September, so yesterday. If you still want to have it for today, write an email to the email address and that you want to have the lifetime access for 30% off. We can still make it just for you here for the live stream, okay? Because there are very little people in the live stream. So I see Ali is trading on 5 minutes. Daniel is trading on 4 hours. Pink Piggy, a bit of everything. Okay, 50 minutes on left, 1 minute on the right, when scalping usually at open. Nice. Okay. Nice. So we have everything. And which one is your preferred market? What do you want me to analyze? So now, of course, very important, I like to trade on, I have 1 minute left, 10 seconds right, and I have the 5 or the 50-minute chart on the bigger type on a different screen. So also very important, now we see this Wyckoff range coming, and yeah, it's looking bullish. here, so we can trade in long direction. Bullish zone, bullish target is at this top, 24,900. I know it's very short targets, but if you trade high leverage futures, this is kind of a lot of money if you trade a lot of contracts. Yes, you just need 10 points. You mentioned that the best reversal signals are when the color leaves and the zones changes instantly or quickly after from bullish to bearish. Does this apply to higher time frames as well? Yes. So one thing is, for everybody of you, we are working on also a different volume indicator, which will be accessible, I think, somewhen. We have it in the internal beta phase, and this has a tiny, like 90%, 95% of how the colorful candles are calculated are the same. But there's some very little changes, and these little changes also apply to the bullish and bearish zones. And I noticed this more often with this next version of indicator. It's not, I think it's not a next version, it's a additional version. I would not use one only. Currently I'm using both, trying to see the differences. But what I want you to do, Ping Piggy, is take a look at this. Okay, go through your charts, go through the markets you are trading, and see these kind of things with your own eyes. Okay, I noticed this just by observing that when the color goes and we have an immediate change, then it's more a reversal sign. Okay, not here. Maybe it was on higher time frame as well. Yes. Yes. But these kind of rules are not 100% fixed. This is just my observation and my, I would say, thoughts. Everything what I tell you here is, anyway, it's context analysis first, higher time frame first. But you see how it's working. If we have done a trade, wherever we entered, it's going good. We tried to enter here at the beginning. We got stopped here, break even. This is a 10-second time frame. Then we entered here again. We entered there. I don't know where, but it's going in a good direction. And now we see colorful candles again. What is this? This is a sign that this market might be in a top building process. So we might leave now with one contract. Take the profits. Take the profits now, let the other one run, put your stop to break even. Oh, it's continuing. So nothing is perfect, but yeah. Where do you play stop loss when color is leading? Above highest point of color levels? Yes, this is a very good question, Daniel. Yes, but you need to give it some wiggle room, because you see this? This is the theory of markets turning in the lack of participation. So, and when we have, for example, we have a turn from rising trend to a falling trend, we have a lack of participation at the top. We have higher highs with lower lows. Most likely we have colorful candles here. We don't have colorful candles there. So we need to give it a little wiggle room at the top. So I have always very wide stops, and I use my stop management, I would say, very aggressive when the market rhythm is changing and when the market is not moving in my direction, I leave. Something like this. But of course, it works in a very good, in a lot of time. Put the stop above, below, or we had this example here, right? We need we need this one a little bit too gray. Nobody can see these candles. Sorry. Nobody can see the white candles, right? Okay, there we go. So we had this example, this bearish example, where you could enter here. Let's place the long, maybe like this. Okay, and your stop you can put a little bit below, because you get stopped out here, and then you have to decide, okay, whether this was a failure. And sometimes we have lack of participation, and then the market continues. Colorful candles, nothing here. So I cannot say, and mostly it is working here. You see this? So colorful candles are going. We could have a stop, a short trade here. Okay, if we put the stop immediately above these highs, we get stopped out here. And if we do the same again here with this gray color, stop above this gray candle, also we get stopped up there. But you know what I mean? It's not an aggressive color. It's not a trend reversal. They don't do this. They just hunt the stops. This sometimes happens that we don't see the ultimate high or the ultimate low, the final low or the final high with colorful candles. It's not always like this. Yes, the probability is there, but it's not, especially when the range is building like here, uptrend, strong uptrend, and then we see the range. They sometimes come and get some more positions at the top without colorful candles, and then you get stopped out. So this is why I always have it a little bit more far away, and I use this level in my head to see as a very high attention level, something like this. I hope you know what I mean. My English is not the best. I try to do my best. Okay, so again, we see colorful candles coming, a lot of volume also on the 10-second chart, continuation sign. We got the target already. And yeah, when these colors are going, now also very important, on the next time frame, the 1 hour, 1 minute time frame, we see colorful candles. Nice. So we can stay in. We can stay in. Let's go to the 3 minutes time frame. That's why it is very important to look at more different time frames. Let's wait for the 3 minutes candle. 3 minutes candle is still black. So we can stay in this uptrend. It will be a continuation now, And of course, when we see a little pullback now, we can scale in. We can scale in until these levels, I would say. Everything which is above 24,917. So the area when the candle starts, all the corrections in here we can scale in to more or less new highs, because we see this the situation in the 1 minute chart, and only when we fail and we go below, okay, then it's a reversal sign and we need to leave our long trade and potentially trade in short direction. Daniel, on higher time frame, I see this actually happen quite often, that the colorless peak is quite a bit higher. Yes, that's right. This is the lack of participation. That's exactly what how the markets are turning. In higher time frames, this happens a lot. Okay, do you have another market? If you don't have another market, then I would like to take a look at platinum, because we analyzed platinum last week together, and I don't know what happened with platinum. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at platinum. Oh yeah, look at this. I think we analyzed platinum with this daily time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, I think we saw the colorful candles. We put this buy order in, or you could. I said you can put it in. It will very high probability that it continues, and the stop here. So it continued. Risk reward was 2. Target was hit. Now you can say lucky or not. But for example, if your target was a little bit higher, I would move my stock to break even. Now they need to continue now. If they don't do it, yeah, need to continue now. Stop here is a very good place. Yeah. Silver or platinum? Yeah, platinum. Platinum is still continuing to the upside. You can also move your stop to yesterday's low -1 tick. If I look at this chart on the daily time frame, yesterday's low was kind of a good low. So yesterday's low -1 tick is a good stop level, and the market should continue. If we fail here, you secure some profits and the market might bounce back to this level and try another time. Silver. Where is the silver? Here. Oh, silver is really bullish. Colorful candles. So when this color goes on the daily chart, I hope you're already in, Daniel, silver. If not, if you have a position and you see the first colorful candle on the daily chart with a black candle, then you need to secure your profits. Securing your profits can mean that you move your stop to the daily low, for example, of yesterday's low, of today's low, -1 tick. This can be something for swing traders. You said you are on the 4-hour time frame. So the daily chart can be your time frame for stop management. I like the daily time frame for stop management, especially for swing traders. You can see the same swing low here on the daily time frame. So this can be your stop level. And yeah, if you're not in this trade yet, on the long trade yet, this market can give us a swing back to this 40,000, 41,000, and then we'll find good entry opportunities. How to find good entry opportunities? I mentioned it in last week's live stream. Go to the 4-hour chart and wait for bearish candles within this zone. Okay, mark this zone on the daily time frame. This is the zone from 2nd of September until today, and lower end 40,760. Go to the lower time frames, to the 4-hour chart, to the 1-hour chart. When you see a colorful candle and you see the color is leaving, it's time to think about a long trade, because the short traders are getting absorbed, and the bigger time frame traders, the bulls on the bigger time frame traders, then they will continue at least to new highs and maybe trade a fake. How about shorting when color is leaving? Yes, of course you can do it, but you need to be careful with this, because trade the trend is one of the easiest ways. Trade the trend. Of course you can do it. You can also short. Do some back testing with it, okay? Here we had a similar scenario. Strong bullish candles and then short. How far did this short go? Not that far. When did we had this situation? Here we had this situation. It worked quite well. Here we had this situation. Oh, this was July 20. So quite a while ago. It worked. Oh, we're on the daily time frame. So it might work, but it's a trade against the trend. I would wait for this reversal, wait for colorful candles on the 1-hour, on the 4-hour chart, and then think about long entries when the color goes to new highs, and then maybe the continuation, or maybe here the reversal. Then they build a Wyckoff range up here, and then we can think about short trades. Trend trading is much better. Yes, trend trading is much better. It's easier. It's more simple. Also for you if you want to trade against the trend, do it on the intraday scalping method, because there you have potentially a very high leverage and you can reverse your position quite often. Of course, this is a skill then. Okay, I think that's it for today's live stream. Do you have any questions? Yes, just super short move, of course. Super short move, you can trade against the trend, of course. If you know what you're doing, you can do everything. And we do our best to give you a lot of insights with volume benchers, that you know what you're doing, and you can, with this information, of course, it is possible to trade like 2-3 days against the trend with a proper risk and money management. Of course, you can be very successful on this. One question, you say? You can ask as many questions as you want, Daniel. I'm super happy about any question. We are such a small group. It's just 12 participants. It's 12 participants and I have 7 likes. Okay, please give this stream a like. And of course, I would also love to see your comments in the below the videos. When there are lots of short traders and they are absorbed. Yes. What is it? When there are lots of short traders and they are absorbed. Look at this. This is lots of short traders and they are absorbed. They couldn't make it. Like this. But on the lower time frame, you can find the situation more often. Where is it here? Absorption. That's why I said always when we have colorful candles and they are going, think about lack of participation, absorption. And when you think about this on the daily time frame, you see best entry opportunities to trade in long direction. Here long. This is your risk. And you could stay in. So that's why I said trade opportunity scanner, trading alerts, visible volume ventures. When we have this feature ready, I will take part at the World Cup Trading Championship next year again, and we will make it to first place. I'm very sure. The trend is going back. The trend is going back up. You say that the short traders will come back again to turn their positions. The trend is going back up. When there are lots of short traders and they are absorbed, the trend is going back up. You say that the short traders will come back again to turn their positions. No. If the trend, something like this, if they are absorbed, it's a short squeeze. Here, this is the absorption method. They are absorbed here, they cannot make this push fail. So here is a short squeeze. They have to turn here and they have to turn here and then it's up. So absorption never has to come back. Absorption never has to come back. But this, I mean, these guys, they don't get absorbed. They need to continue and then we see a lack of participation up here. But these guys, they cannot turn in a V shape because it's not possible. Absorption can be a V shape, like this. This is a V shape. Hop, hop, V shape, absorption. But this can only end in a lack of participation. It cannot end in an absorption, from my point of view. Why are they typically... Can we have some written document on strategies we can use for short-term trades and long-term examples? Ali, do it your own. Write it down. No, you cannot have a written document. Sorry. You cannot have a written document. Because all this information, what I'm telling you, just comes out from experience. Okay? Use this live stream as your stream. You can watch the recording as often as you want. You can write down all your things and find the things what suits you. Okay, write it down for your own, make your own rules. I have my document, I don't have document. I have everything in my head. I trade like 2-3 strategies and that's it. And everything comes from experience. That's why we do the live streams. You can watch the recordings as often as you like. Everything is free. Everything is 100% there. We will never delete something like this. And yeah, you need to do the work by yourself. Because also being successful in trading, you need to do it by yourself. I cannot be successful for you. You need to do it by yourself, okay? And this is the procedure. This is the way how you get there. Good. Okay. I think that's it for today. Let's end today's live stream. It was nearly an hour. And of course, next week, if you have any questions, anything you like me to talk about, feel free to post this in the Discord community, in the public square talk, pin me, mention at Philip, because then you'll make sure that I read it. Otherwise, I get too many notifications, too many messages. I cannot read them all. I only read the at Philip messages. And until then, I wish you successful trading. Thank you very much. And stay tuned. I wish you successful trading and a good week. Bye-bye.